Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It was like you could hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? Guys, first story up. This happened, I feel like, last week and everything, but I didn't talk about it, so we can talk about this happening this week. And that would be the Megan Good and Michael Ealy hug that went down at the premiere party for that god-awful, it wasn't god-awful, but it was pretty bad, of Divorce in the Black movie with Corey Hardrick and Megan Good. Okay, now the video had come out, had surfaced last week, where we saw Michael Ealy give Megan Good this very big hug, like he hadn't seen her in years and years and years, or maybe he hasn't. Okay, we are just coming off of a pandemic and whatnots, but he gave her this huge hug to the point where he had to pick her up. She had to lift her legs up in the air, and so it was one of them kind of hugs, right? And in the video, at least what we saw Jonathan Majors, who is Megan's boyfriend, okay, depending on who you ask, okay. Some people say it's a publicity stunt, but I was like, it ain't feeling like a publicity stunt no more, it's feeling like they really do like each other, child, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Jonathan Majors is standing kind of in the background, and he's kind of doing that thing where when something is uncomfortable happening, you don't really know what to do, so you kind of take your phone out and you look at it and you kind of looking around, and so that's kind of how the video looked. It looked as if Michael Ealy was ignoring the fact that her significant other was standing right behind her, and that he hugged her. After he hugged her, he also went on to hug some other people, or maybe before. He hugged some other people and then he hugged her, okay? And so from our vantage point, what we were allowed to see, it definitely looked like Michael Ealy was ignoring Jonathan Majors to the point, where he might even be trying to annoy him, because what man wants to see their woman getting picked up by another man and her being that happy to see him like that, So, we all laughed about it and all, and what I'll say to that is, even though we laughed about it, the shit was disrespectful. Just from us watching that part of the video, it was very disrespectful to me, because it was just sort of like, but not just on Michael's part, but also on Megan's. Now, of course, they're just behaving as if they believe that everything is okay. But like I always tell you guys, you got to think about how shit looked to everybody else. Now, maybe they just got caught up in just the excitement and the joy and the happiness of seeing each other. But, it did not look, if we were just looking at that little part of the video, it didn't look like, it was just like, nigga, you had to do all that? Like, you really had to do all that, and then on her, on her as well. It's just like, girl, you had to lift your legs up in the air. Now, she ain't curled them around his back or nothing, because then it would have just been foul on the play for real. But she, I just was like, but then after that, it came out, she posted saying how the blogs had intentionally cut out the first part of the video where they exchanged, Michael Ealy and Jonathan Majors first exchanged a big hug, and they, quote, spoke life over each other, unquote. And you guys make me so tired. Y'all make me so tired with all of these deep meanings. They spoke life over each other. And you can't just say they dapped each other up, hugged each other. What's up, homeboy? This, that, and they had to speak life over each other. That sounds very much like a Megan Good thing to say. But anyway, she's pissed that, people intentionally perpetuated negative, misguided commentary on life snippets that we didn't really have the full context too. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely the pitfalls, the downfalls of social media. It's very pliable, and you can put things up and make things look a certain way, you know, when you don't get the full story. So, I mean, we can agree with Megan, but again, it's going to always go back to, you got to be remembering that that's how social media is. And so you got to, you know, I mean, she probably couldn't have controlled anything other than the fact that her lifting her legs up in the air. It just put that extra little oomph into the, I am so excited and happy to see you, you know. And even though I don't think that Michael Ealy and Megan Good are doing anything like that. Michael Ealy is married. His wife was right there, they said. I didn't see the wife in the video. I didn't pay attention. But they said that the wife was there and everything. So it wasn't like, you know, he was just kind of trying to get that, "Hey, baby, call me later" kind of hug in. You know, it genuinely probably was just excitement. But if I was Jonathan... if I was Mr. Majors, I might have just had a little conversation like, "Yeah, baby, maybe, you know, you can ease up on the excitement, you know, a little bit, you know. You could still hug somebody a long time, you know, real tight like and shit, but baby, when we get to getting elevated off the ground, maybe it's something else there, you know, or people is going to look like it's something else." So while social media can be a lot and put 20 on 10, I'm also gonna need Megan to kind of take her part in this and know that you should not have been doing all that fucking shit. Because I can tell you what, if I was Jonathan and Mr. was Megan, and he had saw some girl, you know, that, I don't know, he might have worked with her or whatever, but if he done hugged her to the point where he picked her ass up off that floor, yeah, we was gonna have a conversation when we got back in the car. We was gonna have a conversation about it. Okay, so there's that. Y'all tell me what you thought about it. Do you think that anything's going on? I don't think anything's going on. Now, I do probably also feel like Jonathan maybe, Michael maybe might not like Jonathan like that, because it still seemed like he didn't have really much regard for Jonathan over there, you know. And then while we're talking about Jonathan and Megan, they say that the TMZ Paps had caught him on the stroll the other day and put him on the spot and asked him, you know, was it getting as serious with Megan that he was going to ask her to marry him? And he was like, "Oh yeah," you know, and or of course, or whatever he said. And first of all, it's like, why do the Paps ask people that? Like, that is such an awkward and strange question to ask somebody. You know, like, when we decide if we gonna get married, we gonna let y'all know. Okay, don't be asking. And then what if he hadn't planned on asking her to marry? Was he gonna say, "No, I don't want to marry her. I just want to date her right now," you know, because she's making my image look better. Okay, maybe that's the question. That's the answer they thought he was gonna give. But it's just like, quit asking these people this kind of shit. You know, don't ask them when they getting married. Don't ask them when they having kids and stuff. It'd be a whole much more to that. That is a loaded question, and it ain't none of your fucking business at this point, you know. But he did say that he might, you know, he want to get married. And I guess that's his Coretta over there, you know. So, I mean, if that's what he trying to do. Y'all saw that video of Jonathan dancing? It's like, boy, this man is working overtime trying to get his name back out there. Good, y'all. You guys had him out there doing the Delta steps. He looked like he was a Zeta, not the Deltas, y'all. But he really did look like he was doing like some fraternity steps out there. You know, kind of doing his hand and doing a little stomp and all this. I was just like, look at Jonathan. He don't know what to do. He don't look like the type that's gonna really know the dances to do today. So he just gonna do some shit and child, yeah. But anyway, I mean, Jonathan and Megan, like I said, it ain't looking too much as much like a PR stunt as it has in the past. Like, it's starting to look like very much like how I felt about Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey. It felt like it started out as a PR stunt, and then it kind of evolved into them really liking each other, or him really liking her anyway. And so that's kind of the same way I see Megan and Jonathan. But y'all see them long term? I mean, I guess it ain't for us to say, but I mean, do y'all see them two being together forever? Child, anyway. let me move on to the next story. Y'all tell me what you think about it. So let's talk about Pepa, okay, of the infamous group Salt and Pepa, okay, with the group that was the music to my childhood or my teenage years, high school and all that. Pepa, mama named her Sandra Denton. She was at the airport. She was taking a flight from Las Vegas to Nashville, and she was flying on Southwest. Okay, apparently Pep has had a very bad car accident back in 2018, and it has affected her to the point where she is still recovering from it to this day. Okay, and because of that accident, she, you know, I guess when she has to fly, you know, on a plane that doesn't have like business class and first class or whatever, she will purchase 2 seats. Okay, so when you purchase 2 seats, I'm not saying that a seat that's next to you is just empty. All right, just the luck of the draw, the seat happens to be empty. When you purchase 2 seats, then in my opinion, and I think even legally, that seat is yours to do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Okay, you can sit in it. You can move back and forth if you want to. You can put stuff in that chair, or you can leave that chair empty. Okay, but the fact that you paid your money for that seat, that means that that is also your seat. In this case, when Pepa was on the plane, and of course she also, because she has this the problem with, I guess, mobility or whatever, she even had the wheelchair service to actually take her on the plane. Okay, so even though she didn't have a brace on or anything, she did have the wheelchair service, and she purchased the 2 seats, which is the most important part of this story. So anyway, she's in her seat or whatever, and there was a gentleman who was needing to go from Vegas to Nashville as well, because he at least claimed that he was going for a funeral. Okay, and so you guys have seen when the flight attendants will go down the aisles and they'll look and see what seats are open and all that, and then they'll place the person in that seat. Well, I'm assuming that is what happened in this case as well. That flight attendant went to Pep's second seat that she had over there and wanted to put that man in there. Okay, where she explained, and no, this is my seat. I got this seat. You know, it says very clearly, she said on her ticket, that she had those 2 seats, that she was a disabled flight, disabled passenger and all that. However, the flight attendant did not believe that she was disabled because she did not have a brace on. So they wanted to take that seat to put the person in. She told them that she did not want that to happen. There was a confrontation between Pep and the person, the flight attendant. And so the flight attendant took her off of the flight, okay? And the flight attendant cited she did not adhere to the crew members' instructions, okay? And so they removed her. And so she went on to her social media, and she was doing a live video talking about how she had been removed. And so then you could see the confrontation between her and that flight attendant continuing on, and the guy saying how they removed her because she was recording, and she was like, I was not recording on the plane. So far, we haven't seen a video where she actually uploaded a video of her actually on the plane. She explained to the guy, no, I was talking to my assistant on the phone, but they said that she was recording, and so they removed her. And in my opinion, after I've worked for the airlines, you know, in the past, that flight attendant is wrong. That flight attendant is wrong. Now, if she wanted to give up her give up her seat to the gentleman, then that would have been on her. But damn it, if I done spent my fucking money to have these 2 seats, you know, then that means that is my seat. All right. And for her to get put off of the plane, yes, Southwest has refunded her $2,500. Which tells me that she probably bought that ticket last minute. Okay, and those were like open-ended open tickets. I used to work in reservations, child. But anyway, the reason why that ticket was so high, but they refunded her money. However, they didn't refund her for her car service that she didn't get to take. They didn't refund her for the wheelchair service that I guess she had to pay for. You know, she still wants the rest of her money. But the point of this whole story, again, is that was her damn seat. So yes, the flight attendant, in my opinion, was very wrong. And if I was Sandra Denton, I would also be looking into some legal matters here. Even though it's not that big of a deal, it's the principle. Okay, and sometimes you're going to pay me for these damn principles because, yeah, I shouldn't have. It's embarrassing. You know, you didn't put this child off of this flight and now she, you know, having to take a later flight or do whatever she got to do. It's an inconvenience. And you have an employee who is obviously not really well versed in the ways of the, you know, in the ways of how this cabin should be working. No, they should not have tried to take that seat. Okay, unless she really wanted to give it to that man, that would have been on her. But for them to force her to give up that seat and then put her off the plane because she fussing about it, oh no, I'm fixing to sue your ass. I'm not mad at Sandra. I'm not mad at her one bit. Okay, sometimes passengers do be tripping. Okay, and then sometimes employees be tripping, and in this case, it's the employee, in my opinion. All right, you was tripping, and now hopefully, you know, maybe, I don't know if I want the man to lose his job or whatever, but he needs to at least be reprimanded and pay the lady. All right. That's it on that. Next story. Joy Chavis. Okay, I used to always want to call that girl Joie, like joie de vivre. Anyway, Joy Chavis, who is the baby mother of Bow Wow's first child. What's her name? Shy? I think it's Shy. She is the mother to 13-year-old Shy, who she has a baby with Bow Wow. You guys know that they aren't in a relationship together. We know that 5 years ago, she had a baby with a second baby with Future, okay, the rapper Future. That relationship never panned out. I mean, are we surprised? Future just don't do relationships, child. The last one he did, it was a disaster. She ended up to go on, you know, and marry Russell, and they happily ever after over there. Future is still doing very much Future things here in Atlanta. But yeah, she has a second child, a son with him, baby Hendrix. And now we found out that Joy is pregnant. Well, we didn't just find out. We knew that she was pregnant. I didn't know that she was dating this NFL star Trevon Diggs. He apparently plays for the Dallas Cowboys, if I'm correct. She was pregnant by him. I kind of do remember her. I remember seeing her at the games and having on the jersey and stuff like that. But you know, that relationship, whatever they did have, it was pretty quiet. You know, we did every now and then see her at the games, but other than that, didn't see too much or hear too much about them. But she very much was 100% pregnant. You know, we saw just recently she uploaded a video of her dancing. She's a very skilled and talented dancer, and so we did see her dancing with a at least 8-month pregnant belly. Okay, just recently. She's definitely about to pop. She's been having baby showers and everything. And so when she posted the video or posted pictures from her baby shower, most recent baby shower, one of her followers asked her, you know, I'm not trying to be messy or shady. I was just wondering, are you still with, you know, the father of your child to be? And she responded to her, no, they are no longer together, and that she thought that was obvious. And I was just like, how is it obvious? Okay. And, you know, some people were saying that she was being sarcastic, but I was just like, I mean, how is it obvious that other than the fact that you have 2 other baby daddies that you aren't with? And so is it obvious that you don't stay with the father of your children and you get pregnant and then you leave, or, you know, you guys break up? Like, because otherwise, how would it be obvious to us that you aren't? Unless maybe Trevon, what the nigga name is. Maybe Trevon is seeing other people and has been seen out with other people. So maybe that's why she's saying it's obvious. Because it wouldn't have been obvious to me. Okay. But, yeah, you guys. She got 3 babies. You know, 3 different baby fathers, which, I mean, I'm sure is not ideal. You know, people don't want that, but I mean, it does happen. I ain't gonna say nothing else about it, because, you know, when I get to saying shit like y'all be getting mad at me and shit, how she supposed to stay in a bad relationship and all that? I ain't said none of that. Okay? It's just like all these babies and baby daddies and stuff, child. I mean, that seems like that would be such a fucking headache. Now, she is, you know, we don't see her being really problematic. Like, you know, you don't see any of her baby fathers talking about her bad. Like, I think Bow Wow went through his little whatever he did back when their kid was very, very little. But they clearly have a good relationship. And I'm assuming her and Future are fine because, you know, we don't hear nothing about the two of them. So I'm not saying that she's like one of them toxic people that's just going out and getting pregnant with all these people. I'm not saying all that. All I'm just saying is I'm not going to say. I'm sure you guys can you can pretty much figure out what I would say about something like this, you know. But at least all the baby daddies all got money. Okay, Bow Wow maybe not as much as the others. You know, Bow Wow probably doing just fine. Let me not say that. Bow Wow probably doing just fine, you know. And I'm just gonna say, I mean, I'm sure that bank account is looking right, especially if you are a non-problematic baby mama who, you know, as long as I give you what I need to give you, then you're gonna be quiet over there and we ain't got to be having drama with you. So, I mean, maybe it worked out for everybody. Maybe. But yeah, you know, that baby look like it's coming any day. So I mean, what can I say other than she's back on the market? Anybody might be interested. You're gonna have some money though. I'm just kidding. No. Next story. All right, you guys, RachelLindsey, child. I feel like this is for all of you guys that watch The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and The Golden Bachelor and all them shows, child. RachelLindsey was one of the black girl bachelorettes. Was she the first black girl? I kind of want to say that she was, but maybe she wasn't. But she was the Bachelorette back in 2018, okay? At the end of the show, you guys know how the show goes. They pick the bachelor and they start a relationship with them and they get married. So that is what she did. She picked Brian Abasolo back in the, you know, at the end of the show. And then in 2019, they followed through with the whole thing and they got married in August of that year. We ain't even made it 5 years. And Brian has decided that he is not happy in this relationship and he filed for divorce. Okay. They did separate. They said that they separated at the end of December of last year and then he filed for divorce in January of this year. And we are now finding out what Brian got out of this whole marriage and divorce, because Brian obviously pulled the longest straw. Okay. He is the one that got the longest stick. And he came up in this, even though they're saying it's temporary, but I'll tell you what. So he was seeking spousal support because he said that even though he was a chiropractor, that when him and Rachel got together, you know, he let his chiropractic practice go because she was concentrating on her career and everything. And so the way that he explains it anyway is that he was following behind her and being supportive of her. And in turn, her career did blow up. You know, she became, she has a successful podcast. So she's a lawyer, first of all, but she has a successful podcast and all that. And she got to be very well known and started making a whole bunch of money and all that. And so, you know, Brian has been just kind of hanging on to her. And now he says that he only makes like $1,300 a month, you know, a chiropractor. All right. I was like, baby, you need to get you a damn storefront and set you up a massage table and make it work, because, you know, I'm sure you got a degree or something that's going to make you be able to still be a chiropractor. But I guess he's saying he ain't got no clients right now. So he said, yeah, he ain't got no money, and so she needs to pay. So, did I tell you guys that she's a lawyer? Okay, she's a lawyer. However, they did not sign a prenup. And like she said, hindsight is always 20/20. But at this point, even if you ain't got shit, this is the story that lets you know that you still need to have some sort of prenup in place nowadays, okay? Because of shit like this. Now, she said that they didn't have a prenup because at the time when them two both got together, they were kind of like equal financial playing fields. So it didn't feel like, I guess basically it didn't feel like she was going to blow up to where her salary and all her income and everything was going to skyrocket and knock his out the water and everything. But that's where the problem is. Like, you got to think not just on today, but also in the future, and whether or not you believe that you or him, it could have been either one of them, they could have blown up whichever way that they blew up. And now she's got they've ordered this girl to pay this man $13,000 a fucking month, child and spousal support. Had to pay $15,000 of his legal fees. The man is still living in her house. Just one of these, a L, you guys, an L for Rachel. I know she's sick about it, but you can't cry over spilled milk. She probably had to know that it was coming. But like I said, it is temporary, so I don't know how long she's going to have to pay this. But $13,000 ain't nothing to sneeze at, baby boy. I sure wish I could get $13,000 a month. Anyway, Rachel says that their the way that Brian has talked about their relationship, it makes it seem like they were like this couple that was always together and all that, and things just went bad, when in reality, Rachel says that they very rarely were together in one place at one time because they had two very demanding careers that was going in different places. And of course, when she started to skyrocket and, things started to happen for her, sometimes they wouldn't even be in the same state. Like, they weren't even together. They weren't really living together. They didn't even see each other. Very rarely went out on dates, if anything. So she was like, he's trying to give it a more of a romantic spin. And she was just like, that shit was just, kind of the way she's saying it, make it seem like it was just in name only. But, yeah, so I'm sure this is a definite learning experience for old girl, because, girl, and like I'm telling all y'all out there, y'all young folks out there, folks that's getting married and all that, and you don't think that you need a prenup in today's day. Like, when me and Mr. got married, we ain't had no prenup because both of us broke, child. Ain't had ain't had nothing, okay? But if I was, if something were to unfortunately happen with us, and I was about to, first of all, I would not remarry. But if I, if a motherfucker bumped her head and just had to feel like she needed to get married again, baby, you better believe it's going to be a prenup. It's going to be a prenup. And we going to have that conversation real early. Okay, so if it's going to be any problems or whatever, then you know what? We ain't getting married. That's just what it is. Because even though it bitch got just a little bit of some shit, that's my shit and I need to keep it. Okay? And I don't even want your shit. But I need to keep my shit. All right? So yeah, put them prenups in place, y'all. Don't be stupid. Okay? Next story. Just in case you guys haven't gotten enough of the happy couple that is Nelly and Ashanti, I will do you one better. Okay, it seems that these two have a reality show on the way. I was like, are y'all sure that's what you want to do? Are you sure that's what you want to do? Okay, but yes, apparently they believe that they want to spread the love that they have for each other and let everybody see it. So they have a reality show that's coming up. I don't think that they've named it yet, and I don't even think they've started really filming for it, but they have the okay. So they're going to be filming the show, you guys, and it's going to be based in Nelly's hometown of St. Louis. And I guess that's maybe where they're living, or where they're going to raise their family or whatever. Now, Nelly has other kids and all that, but I'm talking about the newest baby that he has with Ashanti, because his kids are grown. Excuse me. Anyway, I just, I just be like, when you be in a happy relationship and all that, and you are celebrities, like, why would you want to put that on reality shows? I mean, we have all been jaded watching these reality shows, even though they weren't you know, most reality show people weren't like huge stars to begin with. And you know, Nelly and Ashanti are huge stars already. So maybe they won't be edited negatively. And it's supposed to be a happy family kind of occasion. So I don't think that they'll be edited wrong. But sometimes, you know, you just be letting people in and motherfuckers will just be all in your business. And, you know, somebody say something wrong, joking or not, you know, and people take it the wrong way. Then you got to be dealing with that. It's like, do y'all really need all that in your life? I mean, but they say they want to do it. So it's coming, y'all. Okay. And I guess while we talking about folks being pregnant and everything, because Ashanti still hasn't had the baby yet, but she looked like she's about ready to have it any day now. We can also see that Cardi B is pregnant, okay? And we're going to assume that the father is Offset. She is still walking around trying to... I don't even know if that's considered hiding. Let me just say that this shit gets on my nerves. Now, I realize why people do it. You know, we had that whole fiasco with Halle Bailey and her... hiding her pregnancy, but the difference why it annoyed me with Haley is Halle Bailey, right? Why it annoyed me with Haley is because she was just saying that she wasn't pregnant, and it was just obviously clear. Now it's one thing to just say you're not pregnant, and then it's another to just ignore it. That's what Ashanti was doing for a long time until there was no way she was going to be able to not say anything. And that's what Cardi is doing. They're just ignoring the talk about it altogether. Because I'm assuming when you finally do acknowledge it, then it does come all about the baby. And then in Cardi's instance, Offset, you know, we can't forget just recently we heard her going off and screaming and yelling at him about how he embarrassed her and shit and be doing shit behind her back and all that and putting it on social media, and she got to see that shit. And we had assumed that he was fooling around with some girl, and there was some stuff that goes on, and then she turned around and got pregnant. So I'm sure that she probably was like, I don't even feel like talking about this baby, because folks are going to start bringing up maybe what he did with somebody else. You know, it's always the same drama with Cardi and Offset. So she has just chosen to not say anything, which, I mean, I get it, but it is still annoying with me, because it's just like, we can clearly see you pregnant. So you're not trying to hide it. At first she was, but after a while, them baby knees and all that shit, you know, we can tell when you're pregnant, you know. But yeah, that shit does annoy me, because then it does still all be about the baby, because now people are like, oh, it's clear you pregnant, when you gonna say something, you know, and then you're gonna be coy and just, even though it was funny with that, somebody sent her a message and it said, are you, they said they were asking, are you pregnant, but they spelled it Perganente. And so she did respond to that person. She was like, no, I'm not pregnant. I was cracking. That sounds like some shit Roxanne would say. But I mean, to each his own. People are able to, you know, it's your pregnancy, it's your peace that you have to protect. So I understand why they do it, but the shit still is annoying and ridiculous on our end, because it's just sort of like, girl, we can see that big ass belly, you waddling, you can't even walk straight, you know. It's just like, but whatever. All that to say, congratulations to Ashanti and to Cardi. You know, those babies look like they'll be here very, very soon. I think Cardi probably got a couple more months left, but she is clearly about to, if she ain't in her third trimester, she about to be there. But congratulations to everybody. Are Cardi and Offset still together? Because, you know, one day they together, next day they not, child. So I don't know. But at least we know that she about to have baby number 3 for her husband. So there's that, y'all. Anyway, let me get on off of here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all that. All right, you guys, let me get in here and get my food and then get on back to work. Okay, we do this every single week. Tuesdays and Fridays, you guys. So make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Oh, before I go away, you guys remember that I am going to be reviewing Reasonable Doubt, or Unreasonable Doubt. I think it's called Reasonable Doubt. Okay, and that is the show. What is it on Hulu? It's either Hulu or Amazon Prime. And it's a weekly series, and it's coming up the first part of August. So I'm letting you guys know that now so that you can get caught up because there's already been one season, but the show is really, really good. And so I'm going to be picking up in the second season. So I need everybody to watch the first season so we can all be on the same page when we decide to, when the second season starts in August. But that's the show with, I don't even know the main girl's name, but Morris Chestnut has recently signed on for it, and so did Candy. Okay, Candy Barris Tucker. She will also be on the show. So yeah, you guys make sure you get caught up so we can all enjoy that show, because like I said, I need more scripted shows. People still be sending me reality shows. It's scripted, okay? And then I'd prefer to catch it from the beginning of the series and not jumping in second and third and fourth seasons and stuff like that, okay? So I'm just letting y'all know. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here, okay? Make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back.